Lexus is known in the Middle East market for fast, powerful, big cars with V8s. But now all of a sudden they're bringing in this 5-door hatchback. This is the CT200h, and the H apparently stands for hybrid. So to find out what a hybrid is and what that all means, we've got Saud in the car who's going to tell us a little bit about that. Hi Saud, how are you doing?
I'm very good, how are you?
I have a mic for you.
Thank you.
Saud, this car is a hybrid. What is a hybrid?
Well, Shahzad, let me start by saying there are two types of hybrids, so let's differentiate. You have what are called mild hybrids, where the petrol engine that we're normally used to gets supported by an electric motor and a battery pack to give incremental power. The second category are what's called full hybrids, and in there, same kind of setup, except the vehicle is actually able to run completely on the battery and on the electric motor alone without the petrol. This, what you have here, the Lexus CT200h, is a full hybrid from Lexus.
So that's what this is. So you're bringing this car into this market. It's a 5-door hatchback. Why have you decided to bring it in at this level with a 5-door body shell?
Well, several reasons. First and foremost, this is our enhancement to the Lexus range. We are entering the C Premium Compact for the first time, and this is just making Lexus more accessible. Additionally to that, as an added bonus, is the fact that we're bringing hybrid technology to a far more accessible level as well.
And I just started up. Did you hear that? That's amazing. So we've been standing here and it's been just sitting there quietly, and it's just started up. It's just decided it needs a little proper traditional petrol power. So the other question is this car still a Lexus?
Absolutely, everything about it from inside to out. So if you start on the outside, all the design cues, in fact this is the latest iteration in the design direction of Lexus, right from the front arrowhead grille all the way to the scooping line to the back is all Lexus. Inside, everything you will expect to find in a Lexus is there. Cabin quietness has been taken to a new level. The Mark Levinson sound system, the touch, the feel, the design, everything, Shahzad, is Lexus.
Let's have a look inside.
Let's go.
So we're in the car now, and it looks pretty familiar in here, but there's a couple of things I noticed immediately on the instrument panel. There's a little graphic here that's got looks like a battery and an engine, and then this bit here is a bit different. What's all this about over here?
Well, the two things you're pointing to are the visual feedback that you are actually driving a hybrid vehicle. On the left-hand side, where you see the charge, eco, and power, it gives the driver feedback about what status the battery pack is in. So when you are accelerating, you're going to be taking the extra power from the battery pack. It's going to go into the power mode. When you are braking, and that's the concept of a full hybrid, it'll take that energy from the brakes and recharge the battery, so you'll be in the charge mode. So that's just a visual feedback to the driver. On the right-hand side, that message center is also just giving you feedback about how the wheels, the transmission, and the engine are working together with the battery pack.
I see. So it basically will tell me what's driving the wheel. So that's the wheel. So it will tell me whether it's the battery that's driving it or whether it's the engine that's driving it.
Exactly. It lets you know where your power source is coming from.
So you can have either or.
In the Lexus full hybrid system, exactly. You can drive petrol alone, electric engine alone, or both combined.
And is that operated by this weird looking gear lever here?
This is basically what puts you into motion. So your drive, your reverse, you can actually even drive this completely in electric mode only, and that's where you control it. EV mode allows you to quickly switch to electric mode when you're coming into your home very late at night. You can switch to EV and just drive into electric mode, yes.
And bizarrely, this has got a sports mode on this. What does that do?
Well, this is actually another direction with Lexus trying to be more of the driver's vehicle that we want to be. The Lexus CT200 gives you two different driving modes. You have what's called the Eco mode, which is your normal relaxing mode, and that's where most people would normally want to drive. But if you're in for or looking for a little bit more of a peppy drive and you're looking for something more fun, you basically go to the sport mode, and you will see
look,
changes.
It's changed, yes. It's turned into a rev counter, look at that.
So it goes from your power to your tachometer.
Yeah.
And
it's glowing red as well, look at that, yeah.
The instrumentation changes to red, and it actually does some physical changes as well. Your suspension system changes, your acceleration pattern changes. It just gives you that little extra edge in driving and enhances your driving dynamics.
Cool, I think it's time to see what it's like.
Let's do this.
Look at that, I'm pulling away in complete silence. That's kind of spooky. First impressions are that it's actually really quiet in here, isn't it? Spookily so.
Well, it's actually taken the Lexus quietness that everyone is very used to all new levels now. When you're in electric mode, it's actually amazingly quiet. But even when the petrol engine is on, this vehicle is going to be the quietest in the segment while you're driving. So it's definitely a core part of what the Lexus CT200 delivers.
And you were telling me that there's some very unique features about this car. So it's not just about being quiet and about low emissions, but it's good for the environment as well, you were saying.
Yeah, sure. There's several different philosophies that come into play with the Lexus hybrid drive system. The Lexus hybrid drive system is actually what you will see in every Lexus vehicle with the hybrid technology. Core components, of course, are the fuel efficiency and the emissions improvements. But then quietness is very much part of it. When you're driving in electric mode, that gets there. Beyond that, the materials used to make this vehicle are actually much more in line with environmental consciousness as well. For example, the rear liners in the trunk and in the ceiling, they're all bio-resourced material. Very unique. It's a Lexus first, actually, is the Mark Levinson sound system. We have 10 speakers in this car, and the diaphragm of those speakers are actually made out of charcoal bamboo resin, which is environmentally friendly, very unique.
In my speakers. How does that work?
It's
surely that makes them quieter.
It actually sound absorption, the sound deadening, everything is actually much more enhanced. A lot of focus has gone into putting all the materials that will insulate above and beyond what you would normally expect. So all of that comes together very beautifully to make a Lexus what it is. So it's not just about the hybrid, it's about delivering a car that is very pleasurable to drive.
So you're effectively the boss of Lexus here at the moment, and you could have the pick of, whatever car in the range, including the ISF. But you were telling me you've been driving this thing around for the last week or so. How has that been?
My family and I have been in this car for the last week, and it's been very good. It does the reason for why we're bringing this car into this market. It allows you to have a second car or maybe a first car for a young buyer, which gives you everything you'd want in a luxury car, and yet it meets your value set, if you will. A lot of our customers want to do the right thing, and Lexus is the right brand that allows you to do something like that. So from an emissions perspective, fuel efficiency perspective, doing right by the environment, this lets you make a statement that few other brands allow you to do.
And finally, Saud, who do you expect to buy this car?
We've actually had interest in this vehicle from a very broad range of customer base. Through the consumer clinics we did pre-launch, as well as the motor show exhibits we've done, there are two main categories that we're seeing showing a lot of interest in this vehicle. First and foremost are your new car buyer, meaning a young person getting their very first car from a wealthy family. It seems to be a very attractive package, and in terms of a luxury as well as the hybrid technology. The second group is obviously the second car in the garage. So this is maybe the commuter car for city driving, as well as maybe for the homemaker who needs just a car to get about town. Allows you to do a lot of different things. The two-mode driving really gives you an appeal factor that we've seen a lot of people comment about. So, but those are two broad categories where we're seeing a lot of interest coming from.
Cool, well, we'll see what happens. We look forward to driving this car very soon properly and giving you our verdict on carmiddleeast.com and also in Car Middle East magazine.